Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today, depending on where you are in the world, for a special late night Q&A with ZodWriter. And I have with me someone I've been wanting to talk to and get on the panel for a while. A man I fought alongside in
Yeah,
the Release the Snyder Cut Wars back in the day. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Hamad with me tonight. How are you, Hamad?
I am great. It feels like it's a long time coming. Like I've been wanting to get into this panel since 2019.
It's been a while. It's just been a while. And it's like for me, everything is always based on, time zones and how we can schedule things and what we can do. And honestly, man, it's an honor and a privilege to have you here, man, because we've all been through a lot together,
yeah,
particularly when it comes to Release the Snyder Cut and everything that entailed. And you and I both appeared recently on the Great Skywalker the Jedi's OG talk. So shout out to
yeah.
Skywalker,
Shout out to him. Yeah.
who is doing God's work,
Mhm.
in a wonderful way to help bring the awareness of everything that we went through as a group for Release the Snyder Cut. So, man, how have you been holding up since all this stuff, man? And how are you feeling now that we are all back in the fray for Restore the Snyderverse?
Oh man, like it's like I could say it's like the same feeling, yet it's so different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like with the Snyder Cut, uh, I would never forget what you said. Like it's a while back. I think during the moment it got released, you said like for what was it, like 3 years, we would just wake up and the first thing in our minds is the Snyder Cut. Like, what are we gonna do to release the Snyder Cut? What are we gonna like? What's our action plan today? 24/7. Like I was just like there was no breaks. There was no weekends
No.
off. No. It was every day for 3
Every
years.
waking moment.
Every waking moment. It was insane. Like so, like when you said that, I could tell, like like the pulse, the feeling of the movement, like the real movement. Like you
It would be insane.
understand.
It would be insane. I would be at work feverishly typing on Twitter, sweating as though it was something serious, like we're dealing with, like, I don't know, sensitive documents and clandestine, like it was some crazy stuff. It was a bizarre time. Like
man, man, there was a point where I was at work in my office, right? I was like, okay, no more meetings, just for like the next hour, just so I could just like sit, write this stupid letter to fucking Ann Sarnoff.
Yeah.
yeah, and like handwrite, and like I'll check everyone, like what creative ways they put in the like.
That's something a lot of us did, where we hand wrote that stuff. Like I'll never forget. It was it was the Ann Sarnoff, and it was Walter Hamada.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we see how that turned out. It was like, it was as though and it was as though those were like intimate moments where we had to take, where we had to literally, be at one with the universe to write these letters. It was
Yeah.
insane,
It
bro.
was insane. It was insane. Like just seeing everyone just doing it and then sharing it online, and like before even they email it, right? Like it was just like, and like I never understand these executives, right? Like I would imagine, like if I see all these like handwritten letters coming to me, and like that's dedication, and it's nothing like offensive, or like everything was so like like positive, and like there's some really like funny ones where I'll never forget this one guy who wrote like, oh, like all I ask is like 2 copies of the Snyder Cut, one for my viewing and one for like just worship. So can you please, can you? I'm like, there's so many of those. I was like, if I see that, I'm like, these fans deserve like.
It was ridiculous because it was like when you do all that, and you're made to feel it's like you just said, it shows dedication, but you know what it also shows? It also shows customer viability. It shows you have people that are willing to give you money for giving them what they want. And that's what I'll never understand. If you take the time to actually sit down and write these long, lengthy letters, like I'll never forget, I wrote a 7-page letter to Walter Hamada. And the thing I find so funny about it is that, like, when I'm the type of person, when I write a letter to somebody, it's, you know, I consider it personal, especially if I sit down and actually hand write the letter.
Yeah.
And I don't make duplicates of it. I don't make copies of it. It's a personal thing for me. So if I write you a letter or send you a letter, it's coming from my heart. It's something I actually took the time to. So so for me, it was like sending it off and having that feeling of, you know, we basically bared our souls to these soulless executives who don't know the first thing about anything when it comes to, you know, nurturing a fan base and, you know, being thankful that, hey, we've got all of these people. We've got this very, very loyal fan base that wants to continue to engage with us and celebrate our product. Yeah. And this is how we're going to treat them.
Like a base that really loves your product. Like, yes. Not like, you know, just like they love you. They love what you did.
Yeah.
They appreciate it. You go turn around and like call us toxic. Like, wow.
Well, that's what I'll never understand. We're bots and we're toxic, and yet Walter Hamada and Ann Sarnoff all received letters from a bunch of us. Did those handwritten letters come from bots? Handwritten letters.
There's letters with like actual like art, like just insane, like bots can do that. Toxic people do that.
Bots and toxic people send out fruit baskets and purchase you know, banners over stadiums and all those kinds of things. Listen, this is where so for me, I don't feel like, you know, the people that are out now that are leaving, you know, affectionately known as the clown table, all of those people being gone, I have no sympathy for them.
I have
because we literally gave them everything on a platter, basically telling them this is what you do.
Absolutely zero.
We will continue to support you.
No. It's rarely where I saw like someone be like, yeah, like feel bad for I don't know who, like so I don't have zero sympathy. I have like negative. Like I wish like they remain jobless even longer. Like, you know, like just I want them to feel the pain of like job searching for like 6 month stretch. Yeah, that's what I like. Be nervous in the kitchen and be like, shit. Like the bills are racking up. Like I need to get something, like some income, whatever. Like I want them to have that feeling, at least.
How about some ramen noodles? Just you know, boil those in some water and
save that few dollars, you know, because you might need that for tomorrow's search, where you have to go actually in the road and like give out your resumes and shit.
It's ridiculous. They're not. None of them are. I mean, you talk about we could talk all we want about how, you know, as a fandom as a whole, you know, we were constantly getting dehumanized and
for no reason,
lesser for no reason, just because we loved a movie director and wanted to see more of his work on screen. I always struggled with why there was so much bitterness towards what we were doing. And then, Hamad, what I realized was it was because as a fandom, we get things done. And whenever you get things done as a fandom, and you show that you can dictate change in a in a in not necessarily a forceful way, but just by the sheer power in which you've been able to mobilize and bring people together. That's what I think it was. And I also think a lot of it has to do, personally, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of it has to do with jealousy.
Yeah. Like, look at the the real true DC fans now, right? Like when they canceled Batgirl, like look at how they quote unquote mobilized in the worst possible, dumbest, toxic way possible, and they cannot be like us. They tried. They did this little hashtag for like a day, or I think maximum 48 hours. I think, I don't know, and they went straight to like death threats, death wishes, and like now they're just like going on with like the whole like Zaslav is like a racist, a Trump supporter, and I don't know what. That's what, day 4 or day 5. How many days has been since Batgirl got canceled? Like 5. Compare that to what happened, like how we worked. Like we saw the injustice, we gathered, we discussed like actual like campaign positive ways to like increase our voices, make ourselves louder, and just like spread the word and slowly increase our fan base, which we did so successfully. Like, and the thing is, we didn't. The difference between us and like whatever they are is that we kept going. Like, we did one campaign. It was small, like a phone call. We know like it didn't shift the needle inside Warner Brothers, but it shifted the needles in the fandom. So like, and then we started, like, we kept going. It was letters, and it was like banners, and we just each one we just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. So like, they don't have that. Like, I don't want to say just passion. It's just like dedication and just like love. They don't have that love for what we like. The kind of love we have.
No. You're 100% right. They don't have that. But what we also have to remember, Hamad, is that they are not actual fans. What they what the majority of them are what I'm noticing is the majority of them are essentially activists. They're basically fighting for political ideologies and inserting it into the fandom. So it's not because Batgirl was canceled because it was a bad movie or because it doesn't fit with what DC wants to do moving forward at this time. No. What it's about is you canceled a movie with a female lead. You canceled a movie, a superhero movie with a female lead. You're basically
South American,
who also is, a Latina or Latinx or however you wanna classify it. So basically, they're trying to shape it and make everything. What the problem is that they've made everything political now. They've politicized everything to the point where there is no, because that's the only argument that they have. You can't say that, you can't just acknowledge the fact that, well, maybe it's a bad movie and it's a bad idea for DC going forward to do this right now with what they want to do. I mean, for the first time, I actually feel like WBD actually has a plan moving forward. Whatever that plan is, I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, but at least it looks like they have a plan moving forward. And I have a $5 super chat here from the great Skywalker, the Jedi, my good friend Skywalker, saying, stopping through to say what's up to the two #OG Talk veterans. I'm at Universal Studios right now touching some grass. Good luck on the stream, and I'll check it out. Thank you, Skywalker. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat, brother.
Skywalker, make sure you find the Sayabra report while you're touching grass in studios, Universal Studios. We don't know that.
Universal Studios. I feel like we are just, everything now is about agenda. Everything now is about, politicizing stuff, and instead, so there is no. I mean, I was seeing all kinds of stuff where they're out now calling Zaslav a racist because he got rid of Batgirl. He's misogynist. There's all these words, these ist words that are being used and thrown around just because some mediocre movie got canceled. Now I will look at it. I look at it this way, Hamad, and I don't know how you do. It seems like it's not like they didn't have their chance with their reboot for DC after they got rid of Snyder. What people don't realize is they've had years to try and make this reboot successful. I mean, we're talking Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, and then we just had, Matt Reeves, the Batman. You've got all of these like films that have come out over time, and none of them have resonated with the audience in the way that Zack Snyder's films have.
Yeah, they don't want to admit that. Like they're so like they would try to say anything, but like just say the actual objective like reality of it. Like Skywalker says, like they just deny objective reality. Like each movie after Snyder left was supposed to be, and like you see the reviews, it's like the reviews were pre-written and ready. It's like, oh, best movie since The Dark Knight. It's moving on the right direction now. Real DC fans are eating good. Like, every single one. But like reality is there's no hype to it. There's no engagement. Money, revenue was slowly dropping after Aquaman. And like now it's like it hit the negative with the Suicide Squad. But not like they'll say shit like, yeah, but like critically acclaimed doesn't mean shit anymore. Like it meant shit back in the day when like critics were actual like serious human beings with like minds, and like they critique artwork and like and such. But like now it's just like what Bob Chipman. I'm supposed to listen to him.
Critics are bought now. They're bought and paid for. There is no integrity when it comes to. I have to wonder if any of these people even watch the films that they review, because it seems like their reviews are written before the films come out and they get paid, and that's how it works.
And notice that recently there's like this kind of like movement within the modern critics of encouraging filmmakers to reduce their runtime. Like it's like it has to be a minute, an hour. Like a good movie is can be done in like an hour and a half, and they're pushing it. And my theory is it's not that, like they don't believe that shit. Like because like if a real film enthusiast wouldn't go around and say and put limits into what a movie should be and not be. Like a good movie could be an hour and a half. A great movie could be like 4 hours. Like we've seen. So like it's right, but it. Like anything, like you can't restrict that if you're a true lover of film. But now they're saying they're trying their best to like lobby, like they're into like trying to get movies shorter, just so that when they like, because it's a job to them to write reviews. So instead of going and sitting at a theater for 2.5 hours or 3 hours, they want to just go in an hour and a half and get paid with their whatever column or review or whatever, or Rotten Tomatoes, whatever, and go about their day. And they just want shorter working hours. That's what it is.
It's like a job. It's just like a regular job, working in a restaurant, a regular type job. It's not viewed as, and you could tell that too by the quality, in quotes, of the actual content that we receive nowadays too. A lot of it is, you could tell these writers don't know the first thing about what they're actually, of the story they're actually telling, and it really does come off as just a haphazard way of writing, because it's just a job. It's not a passion. There's not a love for it. It's no longer the people that they hire to write the scripts for these movies and actually make these movies. They're not fans of the material anymore. It's no longer an issue of you get Star Trek writers who actually write were fans of Star Trek and actually cared about the property to write the material for the shows. No, now it's just about, oh, you're a writer, you can write for this show. It doesn't matter if you were a fan of it or not. You're a writer, you can write this movie script regardless of what you think of the franchise.
Yeah.
So I have no faith in a lot of this modern content we
Yeah.
get now. It's all just modern dreck just thrown out there for I mean there's really nothing of any value anymore as far as I'm concerned outside of Zack Snyder and then the indie scene for films and stuff, because when you look at the things that we're getting now, it's all just done in the most you know un unthoughtful way, and just completely, oh, I gotta finish this script in time for dinner. It's basically the attitude that it looks like we get, and you can tell by the material that exists now. It's ridiculous.
I got hit by that realization, I think, after I finished watching Justice League, that with the reality of everything. Like, it took me a while to like take it in. Like what you said, everything. I was in like stages, like the stages of grief or whatever. Like it came to me slowly, and then like after it, I don't enjoy watching movies anymore. Like
Yeah.
I stopped, like literally Justice League made me hate movies for a while. Like for the longest time, I'm just like I'm not in the like I'm not. It, going to the theaters was a big thing for me. Renting movies, like movie nights, all that, like it was a huge thing for me. But after that point in our lives, like with the earthquake of Justice League, changed a lot of things. It changed everything. BVS made me realize what like how critics operate. I don't know what do you think, like when like
I feel like none of these critics actually watched BVS. I don't think they watched it. I think what they did was they munched on their popcorn and kind of skimmed through it. And if they did sit in a theater, they kind of just turned their brain off and didn't pay attention to what they were seeing, if they even actually watched the movie. Because I'm convinced that there's a lot of these critics who wrote their reviews for BVS without actually watching the movie.
Yeah, and I keep thinking about this. Like if they're really true, the true film critics, they should, all of them, if they trash the theatrical cut, they should, watch the ultimate edition and actually give it a fair assessment. But like the way they speak about these two films, like it's like it's a one pile, and like some of them, and like most of them be like, yeah, like I didn't even bother watching the ultimate edition, but I don't care. But like, you're a film critic. This is your job. This is like if you if a film that adds 30 minutes to the overall plot of the movie, and you refuse to watch it, and like refuse to give it a fair assessment, then you're not a film critic. You're just like another asshole who talks shit on Twitter or whatever.
Well, yeah, and there's plenty of those. I mean, when you go on Twitter, Twitter just brings them all together in one place and just allows, perpetual keyboard warrior type stuff. I to me have been overwhelmed by the consistent amount of personal attacks that you see from people on social media with regards to these movies. I've never seen anything so just ridiculous to me. It's like these are people that literally have no lives. They have nothing better to do, because honestly, to devote the kind of time that a lot of these people have to attacking the Snyderverse movement and attacking members within that movement, I've just never understood it. I would be like, I can't imagine devoting this amount of hate to something when you could be spending your time far more productively. You could be devoting yourself to things that you actually enjoy. I mean, and that's why I say I don't.
Yeah.
People that have problems with, Zack Snyder's vision, or they don't like these movies. Film is subjective. Okay, that's fine, but don't spend 24/7, trashing it and
I don't
attacking the
understand.
people who. That's the thing I don't get. Like,
I don't understand it. Like we are here because we like something.
yeah,
You're here because you hate it. Like
yeah.
that's it. That's all. That's like what kind of energy that keeps you alive for you to constantly have that, like, just every day hate, and like just ways to, like, you know find a way to get under the skin of that person, like in whatever way possible. Like, a lot of people know, like, there's some people just actually got into my Instagram account. Like, I don't know how, because it's a private account, and they managed to get my pictures of my daughter, and like they just started, like, tagging me, and they're like, ha ha ha, your daughter is cute and whatever. I'm like, wow, like, all I did was say I love BVS, and I released the Snyder Cut, restore the Snyderverse. Like, I do call out a lot of hypocrisy, like when I say hypocrisy amongst, like, the blogger community. I like that's a constant thing for, like, years, and I love exposing them.
Yes.
So, like, so, like, but, like, I don't like. It's at the end of the day, it's a comic book franchise movie that we're fans of, and, like, I would never understand that extra step that people take to do that. Like, doxing.
To me, it feels like it's more than an extra step. It feels like these people are literally driven by their hatred, and I couldn't imagine living like that. Like, if you're that unhappy, you really need to rethink your life, because if it's that serious, that's what you. I've never, because I understand, fans being passionate. We definitely, those of us who have fought in this movement for all these years, know exactly what it is to be a passionate fan and to be devoted to something. But we're all doing it out of positivity. We're not doing it because we want to negatively bring down somebody else who feels a different way. I that's the thing I've never been able to get. And Skywalker the Jedi says, an update: Nolan said hashtag Batman Gate is real and is part of the reason he left WB. Nolan was also quoted saying BVS is bitching.
Of course.
We are on the precipice of getting at least a variation of what we want, if you can call it that. Maybe we're going to get everything we want and more. I don't know, but I'm a firm believer in the fact at this point that Zack Snyder is back, that he is going to be able to complete his arc, and then all these other movies that are coming out around his arc are just essentially bonus material. That's how I'm viewing the whole thing. Like, I don't know. What about you?
Like I just, logically speaking, this is what it looks like. What I keep pushing myself to do is, like, just be skeptical. So, like, I'm not saying it's not gonna happen or whatever, but, like, I don't want to be heartbroken when it turns out, like, everything we saw is just like smokescreen, right? Or or whatever. But, like, it seems like this is where it's going. I mean, the changes, bringing Ben back, canceling Batgirl, and all these other, like, Hamada bullshit movies. Like, it's like, and, like, I don't think they canceled Batgirl just because it's bad. I think they canceled it because it's too much deviating from, like it's kind of like a nail on the coffin of like one coherent universe. It's like, it's what it calls spaghetti verse. So it's like,
well,
why have that movie?
Well,
like,
yeah, I read that what it was. This is what I've read. I don't know if this is true because I don't have any sources per se. But what I read was that the movie essentially kills off Michael Keaton as Batman in this movie and sets up the new DC Trinity, essentially, of Batgirl, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman. It's essentially supplanting Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman as the new DCEU Trinity, and is starting a whole new continuity, which, like you said, is essentially the nail in the coffin for everything else. But so I can imagine, especially with Zaslav being the guy that he is, saying that he wants more Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. He's apparently a big fan of the DC Trinity, and if he wants more of that Trinity, he's not going to greenlight a movie that essentially does away with that and sets up a new Trinity, and makes it so that we never have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman again. That's not what they're trying to do. That would be that's completely counter. You can't have DC without the main Trinity. Now,
that doesn't make sense.
And I've said this before, like, you can have, alternate versions. You can have an alternate timeline where you have that all-female Trinity. That's fine, but you can't completely take away the original Trinity in favor of something that's not going to work, that people are not in favor of. And that's what I heard the real reason was for this movie being canceled.
Like,
I don't know if that's true.
If this is true, it's, I don't understand. Like, business-wise, it doesn't make sense.
No
business, like,
and they've had all these movies. They've had all these failed movies. Well, they should know by now what doesn't work. They should be very well aware that this stuff isn't working. I mean, what?
Yeah, like, that's like I was saying, like, every decision made from cutting 30 minutes of BVS until like the merger is none of it is based on business. Like, it's always based on, like, okay, maybe the BVS one is based on business just to see if they could fit in more theaters, whatever. But like after that, none of it is based on business. It's just like politics, trying to pushing office politics, corporate politics. You're trying to take over the DC IP, control it. Like, that's what it seemed like. And like, I don't know, like, just it's basic like logic to utilize Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman now. Basic.
Yes.
Why just because you hate Snyder so much and you want to like deviate, like give a fuck you to the Snyder fans for forcing you to release the Snyder cut, whatever you're doing this, like, you're not an executive anymore. You're not a studio executive. You're like, this is a kid in high school who's just bitter. Like, I don't know, like, just a lot of it just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And to see all the the way that the release the Batgirl movie hashtag kind of fizzled out after what, like 3 days? It was like a couple. It wasn't even 3 days.
It was like 24 hours. I think it was. I gave it 3 days. I was like 3 days max, and it fizzled. But it's like literally just 24 hours, and then that's it. Like,
yeah, it amounted to nothing, and the people, and then it was so funny because I saw the great hypocrite Sean O'Connell, doing hashtag release the Batgirl cut, like he was
something
like he thought he was starting something. It's like Sean, number one, why would you say release the Batgirl cut? Because saying release the Batgirl cut implies that there was something else.
There was a movie.
There's another cut. What are you talking about? That makes no sense whatsoever.
and this is the landscape now. Like, Sean O'Connell's, like, that's what it is now. Like, just idiots that think they're really good at pretending that they understand movies, they love movies, whatever, but they just know, like, and they got the game right. They just that's it. And like, They're not supposed to be there. They're not supposed to be influential, but they are. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Fucking frustrating.
I've never seen. It's almost like we are now. Yeah, and again, we're living in a time where it's about the. It's basically about the lowest common denominator, and then it's also about agendas and activism. So it's not about whether the movie's any good. And all these people that are attacking Zaslav and are attacking the Snyder fan base, they're doing it now out of agenda and ideology because they're saying, oh, he canceled Batgirl because Batgirl is a female-led superhero movie, and da 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 da, all of these reasons that have nothing to do with the actual quality of the film itself.
No.
Like you could use Leslie Grace as Batgirl in a good movie down the line. You don't necessarily have to. If the movie is complete dog crap, why are you crying over dog crap? Clearly, it's not something that they deemed was going to make money, because here's the thing: activism and agendas doesn't make money.
No,
you can be an activist for anything in the world, but that's not going to please the masses. The masses want to see more of the Snyderverse. The Snyderverse has actually proven to make money. I mean, that's
I don't know. Like, I'm glad that the merger happened. I'm so glad that happened.
That's the incredible part, though, Hamad. We're at a point now where literally everything that we needed to happen in order for the Snyderverse to fall back into place has happened. You can't make this stuff up. Literally every single step occurred. It's like, wow.
And I think some of these executives are blaming us for it. Like the WB former, like WB Warner Media people. I think that that's why they despise us, because I think that's how they see it. That we have kind of like hit, like we pushed the first domino for an actual merger to come and take push them out of their jobs. So they blame. We're kind of like that first match, or like the little like spark that lit the fuse, the really long fuse though. Like it's like a 6-year long fuse. But we did it.
They blame us, but yet we're bots. We're bots. Mostly fake. See, that's the thing. That's what I say. You can't have it both ways. If you want to blame the fandom for your predicament, then you have to acknowledge, at the very least, that they're real people that are doing this work, that are fighting for this cause.
And we're big enough too.
But if you're gonna call us bots and say that we're fake and say that that it's not real, that it's a lot of it is manufactured, then you can't blame us for anything then. I don't. So I don't get so which one is it, Rolling Stone? Are we bots, or are we real fans? Which one is it? I really want to know, like, where do we fall when you look at everything that's going on now? And we know that a lot of these people too that are crying over Batgirl are all Snyderverse haters. Who essentially just want anything that isn't Snyderverse,
and the audacity to call us hypocrites for not like pushing for that movie, or like asking for this movie.
That was the funny part. That was the funny thing. Like, when they all thought that and then what irritated me was I ended up having a conversation with somebody in one of the RT Snyder Cut threads, where this guy was. He's a Snyder fan, but he was crying about Batgirl, basically saying, "Oh, well, they did the same thing to the directors of Batgirl that they did to Zack. So we should be fighting for Batgirl just like we were fighting for Zack." It's like get out of here. It's number one. It's not number one. It's nowhere near the same thing, because in the first place, Batgirl wasn't an already released movie
Yeah,
that got, a movie that got tinkered with and
but
got defiled and then got released. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a movie that was done the way the creators intended,
yeah,
and the studio just decided that they didn't want to go in that direction at all right now.
yeah, like
So they shelved the movie. It's completely different.
yeah, like it's and the other thing, like it's what they did to Justice League is like it's so like evil and cynical. Like it's a bunch of people that hate Zack, and they wanted to just fuck his legacy up.
Yes.
And but with Batgirl, it's just a business decision.
Right.
Decision.
Right. It's a movie we never saw. It's not like they released it after tinkering with it and messing it up and then put it out there. No, it was completely shelved. And I keep trying to tell these people that movies get shelved all the time. It's just not as public as it was with Batgirl. The reason why everybody knows about it is because it's a superhero movie, and superhero movies are all anybody talks about anymore. But this has happened in cinema probably more, probably thousands of times over history.
Yeah.
So
I probably like sometimes even like just like halfway through like filming, they'd be like, yeah, shut it down. Like we can't do this anymore. Like, and it's probably happened in big studios.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like so and like another thing is like why are you asking me to help you release a movie that's made to destroy my favorite franchise, like the thing that I was fighting for? Like, why should I fight for that?
Right.
Like,
that's not we're not fighting for creative integrity here. It's not the same thing. What you're fighting for, what they're fighting for is they want a studio to release a movie that a studio had planned to release. That's really all it is. It's not there's no cause behind it, and it's not about creative integrity. The creators got to do what they wanted to do. The studio just changed their mind. Period.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near the same as what happened with Zack or what happened with David Ayer. It's nowhere near that.
No, not
so.
No.
I don't understand how they can come to us after they spent all these years trashing us. They're gonna come to us and say, "Was the Snyder Army gonna help us with this?" Like, really?
Oh, you hypocrites! What are
we're hypocrites. Yeah,
fuck off. Where were you when we were fighting for the Snyder Cut?
telling us it wasn't going to happen. Oh, and I love that we're all putting out, all of us OGs are putting out tweets that are just replacing Snyder Cut for Batgirl. It doesn't exist. You're about to convince Warner Brothers that 40 people want the Batgirl movie.
To me, that was one of the greatest things I've ever witnessed during this whole time. Because it was like a second they announced that they shelved the Batgirl movie, and the whole fandom like collectively knew what to do, like knew what trolling techniques to abide by. Like it was just like collectively hive mind shit. It was insane. like just. I think I've been cut.
No, you're still here.
Okay, I'm still here. Okay.
Yeah, you're still here.
Okay, just like all this, like move along, or like move on.
Yeah,
or
the move on crowd. Yeah,
move on from the Batgirl movie. It doesn't exist, and it's the difference is our trolling, what we're saying, is actually true. It's actually reality. It doesn't exist, and it cannot be released. Legally, it cannot be released now because it's a tax write-off, right? So like,
right.
They can't do
nothing with it now. I wouldn't be surprised if the filmmakers at some point leak it themselves, and it ends up where people are able to actually see it. Yeah. But I mean, for them to act like this should be some big crusade that we're all on. Like this should be in integrity. While yeah, like you say, while we were being attacked and ridiculed for actually fighting for something legit. Bad of Gotham says, agreed, Hamad 100%. Batgirl would have been scrapped even if it was good. Zaslav wants the Trinity, not some B-listers leading the Justice League. Exactly.
Why like hinder yourself business-wise by doing that? Why? Like,
when you know that the Snyderverse is going to make money. Who are the people out there buying the Blu-rays and the digital copies for the Snyder Cut and constantly supporting? And anytime they release anything with Zack Snyder, we're all over it. We support it. Why? Because it's quality stuff.
I haven't seen any fandom do what we do. Like when some merch, Zack Snyder's Justice League merch drops in any form, like whether it be a poster or whatever, we all like kind of like, you know, organize together to make the shit like sell out. Like just, you know, where everyone just goes and just buys it. I don't see Spider-Man fans doing that. I don't see like Marvel fans doing that. There's like Marvel merch or whatever, but like it drops and goes and like whatever. It's treated as normal merch. But like when something like that's connected to Zack Snyder's Justice League, whether it be toys, posters, or whatever, it gets sold out like this. Like one guy just posted, like we tweet about it, and then it's just over. Like everyone just try and just buy it. Like we're cows. We're fucking cows. Like come slaughter us with WBD. Like
it's like what Double MJ said here. In 3 days, they prove that they are truly not real fans. They're phonies and will never be on the Snyder fans level. Because here's the thing: the Snyder fans are the true DC fans.
Exactly.
That's the irony. That's the irony of the whole thing. We're the true DC fans because we're the ones that we want DC to be better. We're the ones that are saying it's not that we wouldn't support other filmmakers who make other projects within the canvas of the Snyderverse. We just want Zack to be able to complete his arc, but we want good DC, and that's what it's about. Zack is giving us good DC.
Exactly. Obviously, Batgirl is not good DC. I mean, what we're hearing from The Flash, I don't know if it's good DC. Obviously, it's like another movie that's like a Batgirl movie. Like, I am willing to support any other artist in the DC, in the DCEU, as long as it's not made, the movie is not made to just like a fuck you to me. That's what it is. Like every single movie after some of it, parts of it, Aquaman, and after, it's a fuck you to the DC like Snyderverse fans. That's what it is. It's obvious. We know Hamada's attitude towards Zack Snyder and the fandom. We've seen it in the trades when they do like these hit pieces. We know like it's Hamada's voice are in it when they say like, oh, these fans are evil and toxic and like that's Hamada's hand, like, you know, writing it. So we know how he feels about it.
Yeah, evil and toxic. Walter, I want you to show everybody my 7-page letter that I wrote you and talk about how toxic we all are. For real. Like this is what, you know, it actually it goes back to all of that, you know, the letters that we wrote. How can we be toxic? I mean, we all said some of the nicest things to these people. It's like, are you kidding
a whole
me?
welcome and like plane banner flying thing. Like I would love if I like my first day at work and I see a plane banner just in front, like welcome Hamad Al-Mansouri. I'm like, wow.
Welcome, Hamad. There you go. I mean, welcoming, literally rolling out the red carpet for you, doing like drawings and artwork and poetry and all kinds of stuff. These people have no idea the fan base that they have. They have a very talented and devoted fan base, and they should embrace it. Exactly. I've never seen. I'll never understand why you would want to go in a different, why you'd want to go in a different direction and turn against
Yeah.
that fan base. It's the Savage Bat. Shout out to the Savage Bat. Says Zack Snyder haters have become a cult.
And it took one movie, just one movie, to really become an actual like evil cult they call that they claim we are. To be like one movie to get canceled, and that was it.
Well, yeah, and it didn't last because that's how you could tell that there's no devotion. And Zaslav knew this. The new WBD knows all about this because they've been paying attention to everything that's been going on. See, this is what the difference this time. I feel like the people in charge now are actually looking at, are actually seeing what works and seeing what doesn't, which is why you're seeing Zaslav cut these projects off that are not, that he knows are not gonna make money. It's not really a bad thing if the main driving force behind the company is what's going to make money. I mean, that's going to keep the company afloat. But the thing is he knows that in order for the company to continue to make money, they have to put out quality over quantity.
You keep saying
you put out a Superman movie, you put out a Man of Steel 2, you give Henry Cavill his solo movie, you give us Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, you're going to get $1 billion off of each of these movies easily.
Zack Snyder's Justice League in theaters would have easily made $1 billion.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Like just even if like there was hate on it, $1 billion easily.
I mean, I know. Bat of Gotham says, "Have you guys seen Killer Moth's pick from Batgirl's set? They couldn't even give him a proper costume with $70 million." Now, I haven't seen. The only still shot that I saw from the Batgirl movie was a scene where Batgirl and Michael Keaton's Batman were talking to each other with some dude on a rooftop.
I think that was one of the directors.
Oh,
like he was standing there and like it's like like just
he was directing the scene, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the only screenshot that I saw. I had no interest in that movie, and then when I read that they were killing off Michael Keaton's Batman to lead into it, just the whole thing was just made. The whole concept of these movies, The Flash and Batgirl, all these movies, they were just created with ill intent to erase the Snyderverse. So how are we supposed to embrace these films?
And the makers or whatever who are pushing it, they're not really seeing it any other way too. Like compare like the details from the previous movies, from the Snyderverse era movies, right? How each detail is like part of something, whatever. When you look at Batgirl, like the moment you just go one level deeper, you'll realize that they don't even care about the spelling of villains' names. Like Luthor is supposed to be like Luthor, and like all the props in Batgirl is with an ER. So you don't even care about that. You don't give a shit about getting the spelling of one of the biggest.
Not only that, the filmmakers were confused themselves as to why the studio wanted them to use Michael Keaton as Batman, but then wanted them to use J.K. Simmons as Alfred.
Yeah.
And like they didn't even know why Ben Affleck wasn't in the movie. They were confused themselves, the filmmakers.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that's their vision for Batgirl.
Nah.
This is a studio movie, and they just hired these directors to come in and film whatever nonsense they wanted at that point.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of, did you see what's his name? Kevin Smith responding to Sil's quote unquote scoop about that? Yeah, like that summarizes everything, pretty much what WB was like. And like Kevin Smith, like it kind of slipped. He didn't want to say like it's everything is studio mandate and like it's them telling us what to like how like. He was trying to say it in the most positive way, and like it just slipped that like WB are assholes.
Oh my God. Even guys with multiple physical copies of Zack Snyder's Justice League bought the digital copy on Snyder Cut on digital day. No other fandom is this dedicated and supportive.
One sec.
It's facts, factual information. So true, Hamad. I don't support anything Hamadaverse. Release the Batgirl campaign lasted 3 minutes, 37 minutes too long.
Who does this? Who does this? Like, yeah, I got this one. Got the Steelbook. Got the dumbass trilogy one, but I was so hesitant to get this one, by the way, just for the fact that we're calling it trilogy.
I ended up getting, they had an Amazon Prime Day, and I ended up getting that trilogy box set for a gift for a friend of mine who didn't have the movies. It was just another excuse to buy another.
like this one, the Japanese version. I didn't even open it, but I'm just like, I need to have a Japanese version. Like, and I've got a digital copy in my Apple TV.
The digital copies, yeah,
and another digital copy like locally, where like the like satellite provider, when it first launched, they released the Snyder Cut. That's the only way I could see it here. Like other than getting the VPN and like HBO Max, whatever. That was like the next legal thing I could do is just purchase like the movie here through our satellite provider. So 2 digital copies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 physical copies, 3 more coming from the mother box editions.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. And
tell me.
Osa Fresh points this out really, really well as well. What was supposed to erase the Snyderverse is now a tax write-off. You love to see it. Yeah, I mean that's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. I mean, my God, because they know that it's not gonna make money. They don't need another. WBD doesn't need another failure right out of the gate, and they know that's exactly what Batgirl would be. Now, activists will love it, but it's not going to make money.
Yeah, it has a Latina female lead. That's all they see. Nothing matters except that there's a Latina female. That's good. Like representation is good, but like if representation is used in this way, it's going to be counter. It's going to counter everything. Like all the efforts that's done throughout the years. Like representation slowly wouldn't matter anymore.
That's right.
Because like they're linking. Like it doesn't matter. Like if there's representation and quality, it lasts longer. People would stick to that. But like if it's not, like if it's like Batgirl, like I don't know. Like I don't know why they don't see it.
Yeah, it's not. And again, if you're an activist, if you're not really a fan, and again, all you're doing is looking at those things that you pointed out, Hamad. You're not. It's not about quality. You don't care about quality, and you don't care about. They don't care about Batgirl either. I can tell you that right now. It's not the movie itself doesn't matter. It's that representation. That agenda-driven politics that is seeping into everything and has basically taken over everything. And that to me, I feel like that's a horrible way. That's a horrible way to live, because it's not now it's not about good stories. It's not about good material. It's not about good writing. It's not about good acting. It's just about representation, period. And I keep saying this. Who's to say that that they won't use Batgirl somewhere down the line in a good movie later on? It's
and like it's if it's really about this, like they would have been right by our sides throughout the release the Snyder Cut fight. If that's really what it was about, like they slashed so much people of different backgrounds from the Justice League. but it doesn't matter to you because it was Zack Snyder. You don't give a shit about these people. You don't give a shit about representation when it's Zack Snyder. But like when it's something that's a fuck you to Zack Snyder, then like now that's representation. That's doing anything against that's sexist or whatever, or it's alt right or whatever bullshit that keep throwing at us.
Neo7 says Hamad represents the average Snyderverse fan for real. Well, yeah. This is what we all do. This is how we because we know we're not getting anything else on the level of level of quality that's like that we are not getting it. It's until we have more Snyderverse, we're just on chill mode. So all these copies of the Snyder Cut, BVS, Steel Books, Man of Steel, it's cool because it's our way of still supporting and still showing the value. And I think WBD sees this. That digital copy probably blew up. They can't. That's probably what Zaslav was probably like. Oh wait, this doesn't connect to the Snyderverse. Oh, this tries to erase the Snyderverse.
Like, why do you want to erase this? Yeah,
get rid of it.
There's no business for the Snyder Cut to do well digitally. It made zero sense that it did well, to be honest. Like, because like it's been a whole year. Every fan has many copies of it already, and then some and actually most fans globally have digital copies already, but it still blew up. It's insane. It doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, it only makes sense if we forced it to, right? And we're forcing it to make sense now by saying, look, you give us more of what we want, you'll continue to be rewarded financially. And that's what seems to matter most to Zaslav. He's about the finances, but he also understands, again, that he has to provide quality content in order for us to be reciprocal.
Yeah. Was it like reach number 3? Highest digital purchase thing in the US when it released? Like top 3.
I think it was top 3.
And like but you got Scott Middleton trying to twist it into a negative, which really it made it top 3. The Snyder Cut, a director's cut of a 5-year-old movie that's been released for a year, and it's still number 3. Like, that's
Savage Bad is saying literally every nation around the world saying stop this representation bullshit. Planet Earth united. It's true. Like people just, it's like no, you can fight for that stuff, but it doesn't make money. It's not what people want. By and large, people just want good stories. They want quality material. Listen, there's a lot of ways in our world to waste your time. And I don't want to waste my time on mediocrity, low quality, lowest common denominator entertainment. I want to have something that's going to make me think, that I'm going to enjoy, and it's going to be worth my time to watch it. And every time I watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, I feel like it was 4 hours well spent. Yeah. So that's the difference. Now, I don't know what the running time for Batgirl was, but I suspect that every moment of it would have felt like 4 hours. You would have felt it would have dragged, and it would have felt terribly.
Scene. Like I've seen some scenes were leaked, like not like the script of the dialogue or whatever. So like just you could tell like it's one of those, CW. Like they're so obsessed with CW quality.
And Snyder Queen confirms on iTunes, number 3 top movies against 2022 movies.
That shouldn't be like that. Like in the natural order of things. This is not supposed to happen, but it happened.
It continue, and it's going to. This kind of stuff is going to continue to happen. I mean, imagine if they released the rumored Emerald cut with the with the Green Lantern scene. You know, they released that
Oh,
version
man,
of the
it's
movie,
done.
and they
Oh,
put it out on digital. There you go again.
yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
gonna turn around and
I'm
buy
gonna
it.
buy it. Yeah, I'll definitely buy it. I will and if they release it in theaters, that's an even different question. That's a different.
That's what they are. That's what they need to do.
Yeah,
Honestly,
like
I would love to see what this movie would do in IMAX in theaters if they just put it out, gave it a theatrical
it's short. It's like a
chance. It would
very,
make
very
$1 billion for
limited
sure.
short. Like for like, I don't know like about that, to be honest, maybe, but like I think if they just give it like a short like theatrical run, see how people react.
Yeah,
I would travel for it. Like I would take some time off of work, like book entire theaters in the US or in the UK or whatever, and invite whoever is there to like of our like mutuals, our friends, and like in the movement, whatever, and just like have a good time. That's I need to make this happen. Hopefully, like the WBD releases that in theater, so just I could have this dream of making this happen.
there you go.
Yeah.
And Bad of Gotham says a 1.5-year-old movie is still giving 2022 movies tough competition. Definitely tells you something. Yeah.
Yeah. And whoever bought the digital copy of the Snyder Cut, I'm 100% sure most likely they also have other copies.
Absolutely. We all have the we all have
yeah.
see everybody who bought it on digital has it on Blu-ray, has it on
Yeah,
DVD, has it on 4K.
Yeah.
I mean, we all listen, nobody is gonna deny that we'll keep buying the movie. That's that, but see,
Snyder
to me,
Queen.
that's the next step, the Emerald Cut.
Mm.
Yeah, the Snyder Queen. Yeah, here it is. Release the Emerald Cut. I think they will, and I'm with you, Hamad. I think the Emerald Cut, if we do get that soon, it'll at least get a limited theatrical run.
Yeah, I hope.
I mean, that'd be one way that that'd be one definitive way, since Zaslav's about the theaters, that'd be one definitive way he could test out that theory.
Yeah. And if he does that, I'm 100% sure that Zaslav is out to like cater to us. If they release it in like if they have a theatrical run for the Snyder Cut, 100%.
Because Neo7 says the next $1 billion grosser will be Avatar 2 for 2022.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. I don't think that there's any question there, unless Black Adam has Cavill. Now, what's your take on this, Hamad? I've been wanting to ask you about Cavill and Black Adam.
Like, I don't know. Like, if he shows up in a black suit, at least we would know that they recognize Zack Snyder's Justice League. If he shows up in a black suit. But I'm not sure how much, like, I don't know. Like, he needs to show up in a black suit.
I agree. I agree. If he's in the black suit, I agree that makes all the difference in the world, and that legitimizes it in a way that it will otherwise remain illegitimate. And in the Rock's universe. Shout out to the great and wonderful Mr. President Abu Nas. Happy birthday to you, sir. Watching this epic interview now while eating dinner, you guys is killing it. Perfect birthday present for me. Snyderverse is coming. Great to see you, Abu. Thank you for being here, man, and have a wonderful, wonderful birthday, man.
Happy birthday, man.
And Bad of Gotham says Black Adam has become the new Venom 2. People are talking about the post-credit scene more than the movie itself. Well, yeah, it's got to have Cavill. They got to have Cavill, and he's got to be in the black suit if you wanted to have the cherry on top. If The Rock really wants to be legitimized, it's not even what he does with his character; it's what they do with Cavill.
Oh man. Reality hit The Rock like a train, man. Like just reality of everything. Actually, I'm pretty sure you agree too. Like he actually believed that him being the center of the new DC is definitely what the fans want, or like he would be the new hype guy for
When
the
in
DCEU.
reality, the majority of people don't even know who Black Adam is.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's not like Black Adam is iconic like
No,
Superman.
no.
Like he's not even in that.
Yeah,
It's like
I learned more about Black Adam from the Injustice games. To be honest, like I heard of Black Adam like as a character because like I'm in this comic book thing, but like I really just like learn about him more in video games, and I think and the general audience probably is the same. Like not even the same. Like I'm pretty sure they don't know who Black Adam is.
Yeah. Nobody knows who Black Adam is unless you're a DC, unless you're a true DC fan. You know what? Ask all these. I want to know all these release the Batgirl cut people.
Yeah.
I want to ask them who's Black Adam. Tell me who Black Adam is. Y'all are such real DC fans, right?
I have never seen anyone wear a Black Adam T-shirt ever in my life.
I have never seen it either.
I've seen The Flash, Batman, Superman, and like after the Wonder Woman movie, I've seen a lot more of that.
I actually think I saw somebody wearing an Hour Man T-shirt once, rather than wearing a Black Adam T-shirt. Yeah, I've never seen anybody wearing a Black Adam T-shirt. Oh, Abu Nas says, "Thank you, brothers, and salute to everyone in the chat, and thank you for all your well wishes. Means a lot to me." Trying to relax and watch these two titans break it down. Thank you again, Mr. President. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat for sure. We are so close right now, Hamad. Do you feel that we are going to get everything that we want? I mean, what's your take on this?
Something deep down feels like we're gonna get even more than what we wanted. I don't want to put my hopes up too much, but it seems like this is they understand. I hope they this is like the signs we're seeing is like this the signs of them understanding the fan base finally. So I hope like it's a whole like Snyderverse of movies, films, comic books, video games, like could be. And if it's just like Justice League 2 and 3, and I'll be completely happy as well.
Well, I look at it like this. Justice League 2 and 3 is what I want, what we want. Yeah. If we get that, whatever else they do is fine. They can make Plastic Man trilogies from here on out if that's what they want to do after Zach gets his arc. I really don't care. I'm cool,
Condiment King like docuseries, right? Or whatever. What's up, Ankit?
What's up, Ankit? Good to see you, man. Yeah, as long as we get the 5-film arc complete, anything else they make, again, even if they make like a Man of Steel 2 or whatever, it's just to me, it's all just bonus material. It's all supplemental. Like, okay, cool, but as long as we get the main stuff,
give us the main stuff. They will make so much money from it. We guarantee.
Oh, it's going to be insane, and I absolutely believe that at this point they know that putting Ben Affleck in that Aquaman 2 movie was the smartest move they could make, because now all of us are going to see that just because we want to see Ben Affleck again.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people are still on the fence because and I agree with them kind of as with the moment they officially say Zach is back, then we will open our wallets to all these other dumbass movies,
other projects. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
if they're smart, and I said this before too. If they're smart, they will announce that officially announce that Zach is back before Black Adam comes out.
Yeah.
That way, you definitely
Guarantee.
guarantee that Black Adam's going to be a massive success because the Cavill cameo and whatever. But if you announce that Zach is back, none of us are going to care. We're going to just be like, okay, whatever you do is fine.
Like Hamada staying until like they release like they should have not said that. You should not. Well, no,
but that's also a dig against us, right? I mean, to say, oh, Hamada, he's staying until, because we've got some people out there on the internet that like to act like they're fans and they want the Snyderverse to continue, but then they have this attitude, oh, guys, Hamada, he's gonna stay. They want Hamada to stay. Hamada. And this is, we had a guy who basically tried to tell all of us that Toby Emmerich wasn't going anywhere. Yeah. Oh no, Toby Emmerich. Oh, it's gonna stay status quo. You guys just don't understand how mergers work. Okay.
Yeah. I've lived through a merger. It's exactly what we're saying.
It's exactly what we're seeing now. Yeah. Because a merger, like, oh, it's gonna stay the same. No, it doesn't.
No.
There's never anybody at the top that stays at the top, and most of the people in the middle, and even a lot of the people at the bottom are always gone too. In fact, in a merger, you're better off shopping out your resume when you hear about a merger, because there's a good chance that you're going to be gone too.
Pretty
good chance.
Yeah. Like the guy that's coming in already has his guys, his people, his plan, whatever. So like, you are not like part of his plan. You never talked to this guy. You never played golf with him or whatever. Like, so like, you're not. Bye-bye. No, like I've been into these, like, I was in a meeting during like this merger that happened, like, and the big boss said that, like, the new big boss said, like, everyone in this room is you guys have nothing to worry about. You guys gonna stay. We're gonna make things better, whatever. 2 weeks. All of them were gone. All of them in this room were gone.
The whole room was just straight up cleared out.
I got lucky. I got Toby Emmerich, but like, but in a better way. Like, I got moved, whatever. But like, it's ridiculous. Like, he straight up said that, like, all of you guys are gonna stay, but like, that's the nature of mergers and acquisitions.
Yeah. And Bat of Gotham says here, according to Variety, Zaslav hasn't greenlit the Batman 2 yet. And here's an interesting anecdote about that. Yeah, Batman 2, people keep saying, oh, but Batman 2 was greenlit. No, Batman 2 was greenlit by the old regime, not the new regime. Zaslav hasn't greenlit it yet. There's a good chance. And I've said this before, and people think I'm crazy, and I want to know if you think I'm crazy. I don't think we're going to get the Batman 2. I don't think we are.
I'm 50-50 on it. I'm literally 50-50 on it. Like, I didn't see the Batman, and I'm not gonna see it ever.
It's good. It's good for insomnia, though. If you're having trouble, seriously, it is the best thing, dude. Seriously, when I was having trouble sleeping one night, I turned it on, just the first like 3 minutes, and I couldn't keep my eyes open. It was perfect. I'm like, oh, this is great. It's great for going to bed. Like, yeah.
when I spoke to people here that watched it, like, it's kind of in a similar way. Like, it's like, a friend of mine, like, he's trying to like talk good about the movie, but he's like, I need to see it the second time because like I slept through like half, like in the middle, so I need to see it. I'm like, but you slept, like, why are you telling me it's good when you slept in the movie? Like, it's definitely like, a movie that makes you sleep is not a good movie.
My favorite thing is when I ask people, there's people out there that call it a masterpiece and talk about how great it is. And then you ask them, okay, well, when, are you planning on watching it again since it was such a masterpiece? And they say, well, no, not right now. I mean, I'll watch it again, but I don't know when I'm going to see it again, but I will watch it again. It's like, that's not a masterpiece.
Nah,
that's not a movie that you like. I could put on Zack Snyder's Justice League right now. Like there's no. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can't count how many times you watched BVS. 100%. You don't know how many times you've watched BVS.
Oh my God! No.
It's
I've watched BVS so many times. I don't even. It's like, but these are movies. You when you have movies like this that are true masterpieces, you can watch them at any time. You don't need to have a special time where you're going to watch this movie and be like, oh yeah, it's a masterpiece, but I can't watch it again this year. Like, that's not a masterpiece. See, these are people coping with the fact that the Batman was mid. And they want to pretend like they love it because it's not Snyderverse. They're against the Snyderverse.
It's a fuck you to Snyder fans.
Yeah, right. So they,
that's it.
But they can't admit that the movie was just mid-tier at best, or mediocre, or worse, just straight up trash.
Yeah.
And I kind of believe, and this is just me personally, I think that if the Batman hadn't come out before the merger and Zaslav came in, I think Zaslav would have got rid of it. I think he would have. Yeah. I think he would have said no, because he wants the Trinity. He wants Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot. He wants the DCEU. He wants the Trinity. He doesn't want all these offshoot universes, Elseworlds, whatever. He doesn't want all that. So I think that the only reason Matt Reeves' The Batman even came out was because it happened. It was released before the merger.
Yeah, officially before the merger. I think so. Joker 2 has a release date. Like immediately the merger happened, and they.
But Joker 2 also made Joker 1 also made $1 billion. So they, that's what Zaslav is telling you. Like, okay, we'll go ahead with this. This is how you know that this is another way that we know that the Snyderverse is restored, because it makes money. And that's what Zaslav is about. He's about making money. So
I don't think Zaslav is looking at Samba numbers or whatever, those stupid ass numbers.
Like, why are you putting Ben Affleck in Aquaman 2 if you have a different idea for where Batman should go? No, he knows that we all love Batfleck. He knows that Batfleck is the answer as far as Batman is concerned.
Did you see the HBO Max promotion that's been circulating, like right after the investor call? Like,
they're even showing Ray Fisher.
Like, that's huge. I've never seen Ray Fisher being Ray Fisher Cyborg being advertised in any US WB media, anything. They reached the point, like Warner Brothers, when they were willing to remove Cyborg, the character, out of the fandom art competition completely, just to avoid fans submitting artwork of Ray Fisher Cyborg. The chance of that happening, they removed Cyborg from DC fandom, and now seeing Ray Fisher Cyborg being that's
there's your proof. Your proof. They're not showcasing. They're showcasing Ray Fisher because they've been in talks with Ray Fisher, and they know that they're going to bring him back. They're bringing everybody back. See, this is why. Again, if you really think about it, I love the fact that Zaslav hasn't greenlit the Batman 2. I honestly do not expect a Batman 2. and I think that they would be wise to abandon that
Like
continuity as well.
I would I don't like if they don't do the Batman 2, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I wouldn't be surprised either way if they announce Batman 2 or they don't announce it. What I'm hoping to see is they don't they announce that they're not going to do it anymore, and I just want to see these like the Patterson fans terrorists,
All the patents and
these
meltdown.
terrorists. Oh
Oh my God, the way they were giving Zaslav death threats over
threats.
Batgirl.
Yeah. So imagine what would like it's gonna be like a dark era on Twitter. Like
Oh yeah,
just
you're gonna have a lot of you're gonna have all these
oh
you're gonna have all
man.
these Pattinson stands marching outside of WB at this
Yeah.
point.
Oh no, for sure. I believe they would physically go and like with torches or whatever, and onto WBD like studio like the lot. People would get hurt like in real life. I truly believe that would happen.
If it's announced that the Batman 2 is not happening.
Oh,
Oh.
oh,
The Warner Brothers Discovery Studios has been surrounded by a group of angry Pattinson fans. Oh my God, I can see it. I can see it. Oh.
like it is crazy that we haven't like heard a release date. Usually they do, yeah, right? Like even during pre-production, they would give out it'll be released in I don't know 2024, 2025. Like Marvel's did it, like with all
Yeah.
these.
But that's because it was remember, it was the old regime that announced it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they couldn't give it a release date because they weren't going to be there
yeah.
regardless. So yeah, if it was the
Uh,
old regime, yeah, we
uh,
would definitely be getting Batman 2. But because it's this new regime, yeah, no, I don't think so. The Batman Who Walks, absolutely. Hashtag Trey checked his watch. Again, that movie. Oh, and Ankit puts it very, very well here. The best thing about the Batman was the Dolby Roundtable with Reeves, Fraser, and the colorist diving deep into the technical filmmaking. That's the only thing, and it's not even the movie itself. Uh huh.
yeah, I don't think I'll ever watch that movie.
Yeah. I really wish that I didn't. I wish I didn't see it,
I
honestly.
I, I remember Abu Nas put it the best. Like it's hard for me to sit and be entertained by a movie that I know how it got conceived. You know what I mean? Like I know that was supposed to be Ben Affleck, but shit like hit the fan, and like now it's this. I can't enjoy it. I can't enjoy knowing the circumstances that led to this movie to be what it is now.
Right. They basically stole the title of Ben Affleck's movie and made some weird mid-tier mediocre trash with the guy that should have been cast as Terry McGinnis in Batman Beyond,
Yeah.
but instead he gets cast as Batman in this really bizarre, very. It was just different. It was weird. Like I can't even. I mean, they're so out of ideas that they had to give Batman a Darth Vader like theme. Like the theme for this guy is like a ripoff on the Imperial March from Darth Vader in Star Wars. It's ridiculous how bad this movie is. I
Yeah.
don't know how anybody. I mean, for me, I really had a tough time, even around friends of mine who liked the movie, and I was just like, but I don't. But see, I was one of those people where I was turned off right away. Hamad. Well, I saw the first trailer and I was upset because I thought this movie looked like trash then. But I mean,
I saw, yeah, like I saw the trailer, and then I saw how people react to it. Like immediately, the first thing that came into their minds is like, "Oh, look at uh, Matt Reeves is gonna teach Zack Snyder how to like portray Batman." It's that kind of shit, you know. And I'm like, yeah, this movie can fuck off. To be honest, this is like what it is. Is this the kind of discourse around this movie already? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That's what, see,
Zero. Yeah.
that's where I disagreed with the Bat Channel, because I didn't like the score at all. I thought that the score was terrible. It was like a generic version of the Darth Vader Imperial March, and then every time you Batman walks in this movie, you hear clanking noises like RoboCop. I there were so many things that literally took me out of the movie. I don't know, but one thing I do love about it though was I felt that way. I felt negatively towards it when I saw the first trailer, and then when I watched the movie, my feelings were validated. So that's when I realized I'm like, well, see, this is how I know if something is rubbing me the wrong way, I can trust my instincts, knowing that this movie is going to be a hunk of crap, and that's exactly what it was, in my opinion. So I don't know, but there are a lot of people that ended up liking it, and I would say that, and like I said, I don't attack anybody or go at anybody who liked the movie. If you like it, that's fine, but these Pattinson stands on Twitter in particular they're like a mob of like just
angry teenagers. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Angry teenage. Where like there's no reason for you to be angry. Like you got your movie, you're being validated by a big studio. Like you're being like, so fuck off.
No,
leave.
No billion. Yeah, they didn't get their billion. See, and that's another reason why Zaslav didn't greenlight the sequel yet. It didn't make $1 billion. Notice how Joker made $1 billion, and Joker the sequel got greenlit right away, even though I don't think that the sequel for the Joker is going to make anywhere near $1 billion, because it's a musical, and not everybody is into musicals, so it won't make $1 billion.
Like I don't know. Like they saying it's a musical. I think and hope it's one of those like really dark musicals. You know what I mean? It's not like, there's a number and then there's like a group of dancers behind the Joker, and they're just
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's like really dark. Like, that scene from the Joker where he walks into the bathroom and he just starts dancing. Like that now he's become the Joker kind of dance. Right? I feel like this, but amplified even more. Or like when he goes down the stairs and he's just like, doing his like, dance, whatever, from like a rock song was playing. I don't remember what it was. Like it's to that vibe, I think. And I hope that's what it is. And if they restore the Snyderverse, I am gonna watch the Joker 2 like a gazillion times.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. They would be wise 1,000% to announce that Zack is back before any of these other movies even come out. If they want to get maximum potential, that's what they do. Announce that Zack is back, and then there you go. We're all there. We're all there.
The conversation is going to change online.
Crap.
Like, amongst the fans, it's also going to change. Like, okay, a lot of people are not going to be won't support it 100% still, but the conversation is going to change. Like, it's going to be different.
So have you heard about all of this, Ahmad? The guy who's accusing Matt Reeves of stealing his unused Batman script. This Chris Wozniak guy. Have you heard about this?
I've seen it online, and I've seen as of now, I don't want to give it like too much attention until like it's confirmed. Like
I really wouldn't be surprised, because Matt Reeves is a hack. Matt Reeves is an overrated director, and quite frankly, it wouldn't surprise me in the least. And it wasn't even a good script. That's the thing. It wasn't even a good script. So I can imagine that he copied it because he didn't want to. Because think about how long it was taking them to get the script done for this. It took a long time.
Yeah.
Reeves was having at it for years, and then he finally stole this guy's script, and then boom, the movie was ready to go. So I kind of feel like, I don't have a hard time believing that at all. I don't. I think that
I could see like WB executives doing that, like for sure. That's such a WB thing to do. But I'm not sure. I don't know about Matt Reeves or like I realized the level of Matt Reeves directing or like his work when I sat and I realized that I haven't watched the Ape movies more than once.
Yeah, those movies were okay.
At the time, I loved it. At the time when I went to the theaters and watched it and left, I was like buzzing and I loved it. I never saw it again. And it took the realization happened to me recently. I'm like, wait, how come I haven't seen the Apes movies more than once? When I remember then, I was at the time I loved it, but I was like, there's not that attractiveness.
There's no real replay value with those movies either.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The Bat Channel says here the Pattinson stands are terrible. Yeah. If you don't say the Batman was a masterpiece or that Pattinson is the best to ever don the cowl, you get attacked and somehow called not a real DC fan. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the most tame, by the way. Being called not real DC fans, that's the tamest.
That's the tamest.
That's the tame version.
We've been called. Hamad and I have been called far worse over time. Believe me. Oh my God, bro. We've had so many. I mean, we have had so many. Some of the things that we have seen over time, over being in these movements, it's. You can't even repeat the stuff. It's talk about dehumanization. I mean, it really is on that level of.
My old Twitter account. I deactivated, but I opened it in 2009, and I used to see throughout the years the conversations I used to have up to the point I got into the release the Snyder Cut movement, right? I would have a lot of arguments with other people about real life shit, like politics that affect my life, affects their lives, and racist shit would happen. I would get racist attacks all the time, but if you see it from that perspective, when you talk about politics, governments, and world geopolitics, whatever, that's a natural thing that would pop up. Racism would pop up naturally. And then I go in and I was in the release the Snyder Cut movement, and now this, and I'm talking about my favorite Batman is Ben Affleck, and then I get called the Middle Eastern terrorist. Doesn't make what the hell is this? Come on, dude. We're talking about Batman, a fictional character that wears a bat suit. Relax. Come on, Patterson stands. You don't really. Do you really have to be racist? Do you
Pattinson? But see, this is the thing about I don't understand about Pattinson stands. What has Pattinson done to earn all that loyalty? If you watch that movie, there's nothing. I don't know. I'm really at the point where I hope this sequel doesn't get greenlit. I really do. I hope it doesn't happen, because if it doesn't get greenlit, it's gonna be amazing. All the chaos that's going to occur as a result of that.
The thing about that, they don't need to say anything, right? In terms of the sequels,
just never
mention it. They don't need to make it. They don't need to make an announcement that's not going to happen. They just do other things and just not mention it ever again. And I give it another year. If nothing, if no mention of Batman 2, it's going to be an interesting time in the timeline. When you when the Pattersons get agitated.
What's going to be great? the Snyderverse, when Zack has announced his return, and we've got all these movies coming out, that are basically surrounding the Snyderverse and all this, and they just don't ever mention the Batman ever again. They never mention it.
Oh man. Oh.
And if they ever get pressed or asked about it, they'll say, well, Zaslav can always say, well, it's in development right now.
Yeah, it could easily say, it's being, and that could mean anything.
That
could mean anything.
By saying it's in development just could mean that we had a passing discussion about it, or we looked something up on the internet about it, but
Oh, that would be. I'm slowly thinking the prospects of the Batman 2 not happening is actually real. Like, I just keep thinking about it. Like, that should have been something that, like, a release date should have been announced.
Oh, they mentioned it at CinemaCon, but that was before.
Yeah, that was before
the merger, right? If it was before the merger was official,
that was during Emmerich's tenure, like
final, Emmerich's Black Power victory lap.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It would make sense, that Toby Emmerich would announce, like.
And here it is. Ray points this out. Reeves took like 3 years to write the script. Yeah, he took like 3 years, and he was waning, and he couldn't come up with a script, so he ended up stealing somebody else's script and just using it because he couldn't come up with no ideas.
Oh man,
I think that just imagine if Ben tweets out, "I am Batman." Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Or it just tweets out like the bat symbol.
Just a bat symbol. I mean, it's over. It's over. It's over. We are on the precipice of greatness, and these people are dumb. I don't think but this is what I mean when I say about all these movies being made under ill-conceived circumstances, where they basically just want us to forget about the Snyderverse. They're trying to erase the Snyderverse. That's why all of these movies are having such a tough time, because were all created with bad intentions to destroy something that was doing well for the company.
Yeah. And we see it. The fans see it, like the ill will behind it. So, like, why do you expect us to support it or like pay for it? Of course, we're gonna boycott this shit. Come on.
Well, yeah, and of course, Affleck is going to obviously has to have a new contract for all these new movies he's allegedly going to appear in. So, there's that too. So again, if Zaslav only wants one cohesive universe or one cohesive timeline, and they want to use the Snyderverse timeline, where does that leave Robert Pattinson and all this other stuff? There's no room for it right now, just like Batgirl. There's no room for Batgirl.
I saw a bunch of Pattinsons that are like, oh, Black Label, please put it at the Black Label.
Oh yeah, Black Label. No, Black Label, yeah. I mean, the Black Label concept of just, the Robert Pattinson Batman movie being Elseworlds, basically, and just having nothing to do with anything. Oh my God. And Adkit says, it's such a weird situation for anything from announced to greenlit to produced movies. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah,
all of it. Like we're literally living in this time of we don't know what's going to happen. And it's like you never expected Zaslav to come in here and literally start canceling movies.
Yeah,
that to me is epic. When you got a guy that comes in, a new boss that comes in and just says, "Nope, we're not doing that at all." So,
and he gave epic reasons too. Like Like, I love the reasons he gave too.
Yeah, he gave good. We're protecting the DC
Yeah,
brand.
brand. Yeah.
And Snyder Queen says Battinson is Elseworld, just like the Joker. Okay, well, we'll see what happens with Battinson. I don't know. To me personally, I didn't like the first movie. I have no desire to see anything else. So I would actually be happy if nothing else comes from that universe. But for people that want to see more, well, we'll see what happens. Real DC fans will wish that WB makes a black label now so that their Hamada burgers can still exist.
The turntables.
Real DC fans, Hamad. Real DC fans.
Real DC fans.
So I guess I got to ask you, man. So what are you most looking forward to now that you have some idea that it looks like we're going to get what we want and we got that Snyder cut gut feeling? What are you most looking forward to?
First of all, I want a Zack Snyder video post of this shit. I'm just like, that initial, like, he posts something and then like that process of people catching on to it and then like the fandom just going nuts. I want that to happen, like, at least first. I just need basic things. JL2, I'm looking forward to it. Like, Dark Side, come on. Like, I'm a real DC fan. I want to see Dark Side. I want to see Dark Side kick the shit out of the Justice League.
You're a real DC fan. Yes.
That's what I imagine real DC fans want. I don't think they a real DC fan.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Like all these like ideas. I really want to see a Wonder Woman movie where like she comes back, like she goes to like what do you call it, the underworld, and like fights her way up to be back to the living, and she becomes the god of war kind of thing. That would have been like so much like so much to like. I just want a Zack Snyder is back announcement in any form, anyway.
I'm with you 100% on that. I think as men who fought alongside each other for all this time, I can agree 100% in symmetry with you on that. That is the most important thing for Zach to make that announcement in some form or fashion, so that we can finally put all this to rest and just be happy with everything moving forward. Because whatever they put out at that point, once that's announced, I'll be all about it. I don't care. Whatever it is, okay.
And I think he knows. I think he knows too. Like if he's like, "Oh, let's have a Snyder Cut watch party," we're like, "Okay, yeah, it's official." Like the Snyder Cut party,
right. The Snyder Cut watch party. Yeah, and he'll flip the script. It'll be like the Emerald Cut or something, and it'll be something crazy, man. So, I want to say, man, I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you
for being here with me today and having this discussion. It's so cool to be able to talk to people who were there from the beginning and are still here now. With me, we're all still doing the same stuff, maybe not quite as vigorously as we did back in the day, but
yeah, I'm glad other people are kind of doing it now. Like, still, like, we need, but it's good to like to be around, and like I wish a lot of people that left to come back. Like, I really wish like Ronaldo to come back.
Ronaldo and Fiona and Ramesh and all these great people who we knew and we're happy to be around and their presence is definitely missed during all of this, and hopefully, I mean, who knows? I mean, once the Snyderverse is back in full swing again, we might be surprised at how that might motivate and bring some other people out again.
God, I hope it happens. It's different with them around.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a different playing field, and
Yeah.
and again, and this is what I say. This is why your release the Batgirl cut doesn't work, because
No,
you didn't have Fiona or Chris
nah,
Finaldo leading the
nah,
charge.
you'll never get these people. Like they will never have these people.
Never have those people. Those
Nah.
are the types of people you need.
Yeah, you need Fiona who's like like kind of just getting people naturally within the movement, and you need people like Chris who just like he sees some bullshit and he's not letting that shit go. Like he sees some blogger talk shit, he's gonna be on their asses, and like they don't have that. They're afraid of bloggers. They're afraid of being called the toxic by the film like journalism like community. So we're not afraid. We embrace it.
Yeah,
we embrace it.
We embrace it because we've been around it for so long, and we know exactly what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Pattinson stands are just another breed of antis. It's no problem.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But again, man, I love it. Thank you so much for being here. This has been absolutely fantastic. I want to thank everybody in the chat who is here participating. We had a wild chat today. Hamad, you are welcome back anytime, bro. I know we just got to get our times set when we do this kind of stuff.
This is hilarious. Fun. I see like special afternoon edition, and it's like, it's almost like 1:30 in the morning here.
1:30 in the morning for you, but it's almost 5:30 in the evening here for me, and I truly enjoyed every moment of this. This felt Likewise. This felt like it was something that was just destined to happen and that we needed to happen. So it was great. Neo7 says, I miss Itzmo. Another icon. Again,
the very first ones who went, right? Like they were the very first ones who went into the lot with like cosplay and like released the Snyder Cut sign. And they got shit for it. They got shit for like Umberto, that asshole. Like
Umberto, and the fact that Umberto is still around is pretty ridiculous. I mean, the fact that he's not in a cave somewhere hidden away. I don't know. I don't know how he bothers to even get in front of a keyboard anymore with all of the L's that dude takes. But whatever. I mean, people do what they got to do, I guess. Mm-hmm. Hey, but with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you again. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for being here with me and Hamad. Thank you again, Hamad, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
See you next time. Laters, everybody.
Later.